Good morning, everybody. Well, today is a special day because, we've had a lot of folks in the studio, but never a very famous actor, and we are honored to have Quinton Aaron. Yes. Yeah, I'm telling you.
And the crowd goes
from, I guess, best known for the movie Blind Side, and you played Big Mike, but now that's just a drop in the bucket to all the things that you have done. But I guess that if somebody's going to say, who are you, that's going to be the most notable thing, correct?
Well, yeah, it's one of the most notable, but I mean, being that we're here in the sweet city of Vidalia, we got to, talk about the fact that I was just here last year and I did a movie called Blue Lightning.
That's right.
That we shot here in town, actually. So I actually heard that it's out. So, look for that somewhere. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know where to find it, but it's out. We can check that out. And I just had a movie come out in June with Haley Duff called The Wedding Pack 2, The Baby Pack. So, yeah.
So you've been quite busy.
Yeah, I always stay busy. I gotta stay working.
Well, now you're from the Bronx.
Yes.
And then you moved to Augusta. Now, how did that happen? How did you go from the Bronx to Augusta? Yeah, Georgia.
Well, I mean, born and raised in the Bronx, but most of my family's from the South. Like, my mom was born and raised in Bowman, South Carolina. So my grandparents was from South Carolina as well. And back in '92, I believe, my grandparents moved from Gun Hill Road in the Bronx to Augusta, Georgia. And when I graduated elementary school, because I got bullied all through school, my mom was kind of like, you know what, we ain't about to do junior high and high school in New York. We going down south, you know. And I wanted to be closer to my grandparents anyway, too. So we moved to Augusta. That's what brought us down there in like '96. I was 12. And, yeah. I did it for about 6 years, and after I graduated high school, I moved back to New York and started pursuing the dream.
Wow.
So what in your life made you say, hey, I want to be an actor?
You know what? I found that out at an early age. I started singing first. I grew up singing. I used to impersonate people. It was funny, like I would mimic voices.
You gotta give us a name.
That's right. You gotta give us
impersonate?
one.
All right. So when I was younger, I used to tell Mom would be the first black James Bond. And so like I had like my one good church suit.
Yeah.
I was only supposed to wear on Sundays, but I would come home from school and throw that suit on, and I'd be walking around the house, and I would talk with this little British accent. And I would drive my mom crazy because I never answer what she called me, Quinton. I would say, Madam, you will address me as Bond. Nothing else. Yeah, she got real good at throwing objects at me.
Yeah, man.
Always hit. One time I turned the corner and the shoe ricocheted off the wall, caught me in the back of the head. When I came back, I was, man, how did you get me?
No. They know how to get you.
Yeah, moms know how to get you.
They know how to get you.
Exactly.
It's funny, like my mother, she would break out the switch. And Dad, he would get you 3 little licks and it'd be over. Exactly. Mom would chase you around the house, the yard, until she was satisfied that you got the point. There was no stopping her.
Oh, yeah. So. My mom, so me and my brother, the absolute no-no was me and my brother couldn't fight. And so when we fought, if we got caught fighting, I got the worst of it because I was the older brother, so I knew better, right? So one time, I remember he made me so mad, and I pushed him, and he fell back, and we had this weightlifting thing in the hallway, and he kind of like scratched his back on it and started screaming bloody murder, and I'm like, shh. Next thing I know, my mom came running, boom, tackled me like,
wow, boy,
boom. What did I tell you? Get up. Let's just say when she went to work, I was throwing my brother all day. I was like, you couldn't get it. You didn't get it. I know he wasn't hurt. He was just playing.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to get me in trouble because that was his thing. He would scream bloody murder just to get me in trouble. And then I get it, and then he'd be sitting there laughing, like wiping the tears while he laughing. I'm like, okay. All right.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
Watch.
Yeah. I'm sitting here, right, and I'm listening to Quinton as he's sharing with us. Now, you talked about moving from New York because you were being bullied.
Oh, yeah.
And now you're talking about your mom tackling you. Okay? I'm very...
Yeah.
I mean, okay, in case you're wondering, people, I mean, how tall are you, Quinton?
Right now, I'm 6'8".
All right, okay. So, and we remember him in the movie Blindside
right, yeah.
as Big Mike, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's right.
Can you imagine
Yeah.
Big Mike being bullied and his mom tackling him?
Oh, yeah, no. See, at the time, I wasn't 6'8" when I got tackled.
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
a lot smaller.
All right.
But, you know, I was still a big kid, but, you know, my mom, her thing was, I bought you in and I would take you out.
Oh, well,
yeah.
we had.
Yeah.
I
My
think
mother said that. I
think
brought
that
you in this
came
world,
with-
I'll take you out.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
that line came with, you know, that's in the mama.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In the mama handbook.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, this guy comes from 4 other brothers.
Yeah.
So I can
Yeah.
only imagine what it was. You had one brother?
So on my mom's side, it's just me and my brother. But I recently, last year, found my father.
Oh, wow.
And I got 10 other siblings.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
On that side of the family. I haven't met in person yet, but we all keep in touch through a text chain and everything, and we're trying to plan a family reunion for next year.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so I got family just grew.
Yeah. But, you know, these guys had to fight. Come on now.
Oh yeah.
He always says, you know, he's the oldest, so he always tells everybody around
Yeah,
here,
there
you know,
was
that
no-
I'm the smartest, the best looking.
All the above.
Yeah, all
the,
the
the
above.
only one, you know, that competes with me in that area would be my one and only sister.
Sister.
You know, but if
But we really know
there's
that
no
she rules the roost.
Right.
Yeah, the
Oh,
sister
yeah.
does. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was like my mom. So my mom, she had one brother and 2 sisters, and she's the oldest. And so my uncle, who was like 2 years younger than my mom, they would always fight. My mom and my uncle.
Oh.
And my mom was a tomboy, so like they
there
be
you go.
wrestling. I just remember this one story where she was like, you know, this fool gonna climb up on the top of the top bunk and gonna be like, stay right there. And she's like, she's standing at the door, and he thought that she was gonna stay there while he decided to jump off the bed
Right.
and try and hit her. So she waited until he got airborne, and she moved, and he headbutt the doorknob and broke his nose.
Oh, my God.
Oh my God. He still has that thing on his nose to this day.
Oh,
Man,
wow.
oh, man.
I was like, goodness.
It's crazy. Let's talk about how you got the role from
Oh, yeah.
Blindside. I mean, how did that come about?
That was Mama. That was all due to Mom. She got me the audition. She was my momager at the time.
Okay.
And she submitted me on Actors Access for the role. And I remember her waking me up like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was like, asleep. And she was like, read this. So my mom was a writer.
Okay.
And so she asked me to read something off the computer. I couldn't even open my eyes. I'm like, I don't know, you got to read it to me. And so she read it to me. She said, what did that sound like? I said, me. So I thought she was writing something about me for a submission or whatever.
Wow.
But that was the breakdown of the character that they were asking for. So that's how much it sounded like me.
Oh, wow.
You know, and so she's like, all right, go back to bed. And then so she wrote them a cover letter, submitted my pictures and everything. And they got in the office like probably 10 o'clock in the morning. At 10:05, they was calling my mom
Oh, wow.
to get an audition set up for me. And I was on set at the time. I was filming this short film called Mr. Brooklyn. And so she calls me while I'm on set and told me, you know, I just sent you an email. Take a look at it when you get a chance. You have an audition tomorrow for the lead role in a major motion picture. And I'm like,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
stop lying.
Yeah, well, that's an awesome email, isn't it?
You know, I looked at the email. She was telling the truth. I was like, oh my God.
So where did you actually go and audition for the part? Was it there in New York or?
Yeah, it was in New York. It was in Brooklyn actually. I auditioned for the lovely and super talented Twinkie Bird. That was her name.
Okay.
Twinkie Bird casting. Shout outs to Twinkie.
Wow.
She actually casted the Biggie Smalls movie Notorious. Yeah, so she did that right before. And I submitted for Notorious.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah.
I submitted for that. I sent in a video of me doing one of Biggie's songs that I did. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. I had to do the whole song. So I dressed up like Biggie, put the shades on and everything.
Oh, man.
And did the video and sent it in, but I didn't get it. And then she told me why. She was like, I saw your submission for Biggie Smalls. And I was like, yeah, why I didn't get that? She said, you too pretty to play Biggie.
Oh.
Thank
wow.
you, I think.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you just kissing up to me because you want me to do this on
Right,
the roll?
right.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
exactly. But I was like, I'll take it. All right.
So once you got casted for the role and you got the part, where did you guys start filming at? And kind of give us a, because this is the first time we've had somebody that actually has starred in a movie. Kind of give us a breakdown on how all that took place.
It was a long process actually. I first auditioned in October of 2007.
Mm-hmm.
I actually got the yes in late February. It was the last week of February 2009.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
So that means all of 2008 we didn't hear anything.
Oh, my.
And there was a big writer strike that was going on at the time of the audition. That lasted for a while. But then I found out later it was because when I first auditioned, the movie was with one studio, and then they wound up, they didn't get the actress they wanted. They wanted Julia Roberts. And so she said no, and so they shelved the project for the year that they had it for. And then once the original producer, Gil Nutter, got it back, he took it over to Alcon, who had distribution through Warner Brothers. And they immediately started approaching Sandra Bullock, who said no for the first 2 times.
How about that?
Wow.
And then they convinced her to say yes, and once she did, it was, all right, we have a movie. And then they called me, got me down to Georgia, got me started training and everything, and the rest was history.
Yeah, I mean, that is so cool how that process takes place. But, a lot of people think that, hey, I get the role, and, but like you say, you didn't hear nothing for a whole year about it. Now, let's talk about the cast that was in the movie. Sandra Bullock, wow. I mean, and you said Julia Roberts turned it down. I guess, everything happens for a reason. Because I don't think there could have been a better fit than her in that movie. I mean, personally, I think you guys, the chemistry between the cast, especially between you and her, was phenomenal. I mean, flawless. I mean,
we're both Leos, so the chalk it up to greatness was on set, her birthday's coming up actually, and what's today?
It is the 21st.
Oh, 3 days, right?
Wow.
3 days, her birthday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think her birthday's the 24th or the 26th or something like that, but I know her birthday's coming up. Mine's coming up August 15th, so, so you gotta add the Leos, we were able to click on that. And, Sandra's just amazing. She was so fun to be around. Her energy was really just like infectious, and just being able to learn from her, on set. She didn't mind people coming up and approaching her to talk, and she wasn't like, some of those celebrities that are like, oh, don't talk to me, or running off to hide. She'd be sitting at the under the tent during lunchtime, eating at the table with everybody. Wow. And, people would come up to talk to her. She'd remember their names. Made me feel like crap because I can't really remember names. I'm terrible with names. I'm like, I was chalking up to old age. I'm like, hey, I'm getting up there. But, so it was cool. She had jokes. She had us cracking up on set.
Do you still stay in touch with Sandra?
Not as much as I'd like to. I would love to, but I know she's, living her life, doing, what she's doing. I think she's actually getting ready to retire from the biz, to focus on, being a full-time parent. And, I'm like, hey, it's not like she hasn't worked enough,
Yeah.
I would have loved to have done another project with her, but,
Okay. What about the young character? Is it Jay? Jay Head.
Yeah, Jay and I still keep in touch to this day. We're real good friends. Actually, spoke to him yesterday. He just got to Portland, so he's doing a golf tournament today out there for a buddy of ours.
Wow. So how old is he now?
Trying to pull my arm to get me to come out there, and I was like, no, bro, I'm going to Georgia. I got something to do.
So whenever you reached over with your arm and you protected him, I mean, he took that to heart, didn't he?
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, me and Jay's chemistry, we clicked day one.
Wow.
Because and I'm such a big movie buff, so like when they brought me to the office to screen test with some of their finalists. Mm-hmm. And there was two kids I geeked out over. It was Jay was one of them because I seen Hancock, and he was the young boy from Hancock.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And the other one was the kid from One Tree Hill. Mm-hmm. So he played I forgot his name in the show, but he was the main kid, the main character's son. And I saw him. I was like, "Oh snap! This is a kid from One Tree Hill." So I was like, and then I saw Jay, and then me and Jay clicked, and it was like we known each other for forever. We made up a handshake right there on the spot and everything. And so it was just like after he left for his audition and everything, I told the director, I said, "I think this is the dude right here.
Yeah,
this dude out here. His energy was just so cool, and he was so fun to be around, and it hasn't died down. Like if you meet him and talk to him today, he's the same exact way. Wow. He's just older. He's 25 now.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You could tell that you guys really clicked as well. I mean, the relationship between you two were just, I mean, it was like flawless.
And it was so cool because of the fact that he's 12 and I was 24 at the time. So I'm like, we became brothers, and it was so cool. I don't know. I think I chalk it up to I'm a big kid, I guess, because
and that made it easy.
Well, Nate, I've got to ask you about somebody who I admire a lot. I think is a great actress, and that's Kathy Bates.
Oh my God,
I know
I love her.
that you worked with her in that movie, and I mean, I still get chills from the movie that she was in where she broke the guy's ankles. Oh my Lord.
Wow.
But she is such a great actress. I mean, it had to be fun working with her as well.
It was so fun working with her. I made that joke the day she came to set, and she was walking in. I'm like, okay, everybody, make sure y'all hide the sledgehammers because she on the way, all right? And she's like right behind me. And that's right. Oh, hey, Kathy, how you doing, sweetheart? Give me a hug.
Oh boy.
She goes, I should kick your butt. I heard what you said.
So she really has a feisty attitude. She was all in humor.
Yeah, she was sweet. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
But yeah, she was the sweetest thing.
And how was Tim McGraw?
Tim was cool. Tim was like my brother. All he did was sing on set.
Really?
Work out all the time. What was it? He brought his workout trailer with him to set and everything. That was pretty cool. Like I'm not just set, but like base camp. It was attached to his bus and everything. It was pretty cool. Yeah, he was fun to hang out with and talk with and stuff like that. So it was. I mean, just getting to know everybody. We became a family for that time, and we didn't want it to end, man. It was cool. Even with the crew and the cast and everything, everybody was cool.
Excellent.
My boy Iron E. Singleton, who played Alton, the guy that we beat up in the projects over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that was my boy. That's my boy. I actually just spoke to him a couple months ago. We're supposed to be linking up soon. But everybody know from that movie, he went on to do the first 3 seasons of The Walking Dead, which, I became a big fan. I was like, oh man, my boy's on the show. I was like, I wanted to be on The Walking Dead, so I was such a big fan of the show and watched all of it, and I never got calls. It's okay, it's all right.
You never got to play a zombie or a zombie killer.
Right, yeah. That's all right, because I got an idea for a zombie series of my own, which is gonna be funny. I call it a zombie.
Okay.
It's like a mix in the genres. You know.
Well,
so let's talk. Oh, go ahead.
No,
go ahead,
it's
Doc.
all you. I was just going to say, you know, all of that, and you come to the big city or the big county of Toombs and hanging out.
Yeah.
So, how does it feel to be in this little city? Do you do this often?
Oh yeah. I'm actually staying in a little city now, a big little city, Kingston Springs, Tennessee. You know, right outside Nashville.
Okay.
You know, I like it, man. I'm in the next chapter of my life. You know, I'm still acting and still gonna be doing movies and stuff. I'm creating content now for my own production company. But in the meantime, in between time, I just started recording my own music, writing and recording. So that's like a new chapter for me, because I never thought that I would be a songwriter. And that's what took me so long to get into music, because I was like, yeah, I can sing, but I don't write music.
Yeah.
And so I never saw that as a gateway for me. And, you know, a couple months ago when I get out to Nashville working with these guys, Greg Barnhill and Greg Beeks, two of my friends and producers that I work with, both got like 30 plus years in the business. And, you know, it's just been amazing, like the stuff that they've helped me do. And my buddy March Martin, they helped me to unlock something that I never knew I had.
Wow.
You know, which is the talent of songwriting. And so I got like four songs already that I wrote and recorded. Well, 3 that I recorded. I gotta record the 4th one. But yeah, and just looking to do more. I'm actually gonna be collabing with country artists to do something. So
will we hear any of that other side of Quinton Aaron tonight at the Real Worldwide Gala?
Probably not tonight. I don't know if y'all can tell my voice is a little deep right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I tapped it out.
What can we expect?
I got that Barry White tone going on. Yeah. Which is cool, because I always said, man, if I could have anybody's talking voice, it'd be Barry White. But,
yeah.
You know, he answered the phone. Hello.
Well, that's, you know, we pick on him about that. He's got that low voice, you know. And,
yeah, they do it often.
Yeah,
man.
we pick on him all the time. But you know, I've interviewed so many artists, and but you know, when you're talking about songwriting, you know, it's one thing to sing a song, but actually to sing a song that you wrote and it comes from your experience, you know, that's a gift in itself to be able to do that, and to be working with people that can help you unlock that. You know, because I've sat with a songwriter before, not that I was wanting to write a song, but I was asking, how do you write? I mean, because he just writes songs all the time. I'm like, how do you do this, you know? And he was just telling me, well, give me a subject, you know. And he wrote a subject off of, wrote a song off this subject I give him. But I mean, he was just showing me how the process happens. But now, to be a real songwriter like you are, I mean, it has to come from within, and that's got to be quite rewarding to actually write a song and then sing the song and it be, you know, your thoughts. And
well, I'm still a beginner with it, but what I have been doing a lot over the past 13 years was public speaking, and so I've gotten good at telling stories, and especially a lot of stories that equate to things that I've experienced. So for me, it's easiest for me to work on writing a song when I'm in the studio in that environment, and we're listening to the tracks and the beat is playing, or you know, you're catching a vibe, and then you start thinking of something you want to say, you know, and like, you know, let's say pick a subject matter, and then we start to think about the story you want to tell, or is this a love song, or is this a meaningful song, or is this, you know, I have a song called Lead With Love that we did that I really want to put out, because I feel like it's something that we need today. The world needs more love, and I feel like I'm a big promoter of love, you know, and that's one of the songs that I'm happy about that we're doing, and we're almost done with it. We're still tweaking it, but we want to add some more instruments and stuff. So that'll probably be one of the first ones I release. But I also have a song which has like more of a funky vibe and mid-tempo, and my brother's gonna get on it with me. He's gonna rap on it.
Okay.
That one, yeah. It's called "Find a Better Way," and that's another song that talks about what's going on today and stuff like that. And
in the midst of you doing your album, any new movies?
Got some stuff on the horizon. Definitely, we're working on part 3 to the wedding pack.
Okay.
Not sure what this one's gonna call yet, but we're working on the 3rd installment of that series, and got some other stuff on the way. I have several series projects that are developed from my production company. I have a movie that I really would like to do.
Okay.
One day. It's actually the title of one of my songs. Oddly enough, but it might have to change. But it's called "Some Kind of Love." It's a rom-com. I like rom-coms, so. But yeah, I want to get that one written. I want to do it one day because I'm all about showing different ways to do things, but positive ways that people don't think about. I think too many families break up over silly reasons, and when doing so, they don't think about what's best for the kid. They let their emotions overtake the situation, and then it becomes chaotic when it really doesn't have to.
Okay.
And so I want to show a different way.
And I think with what you told us earlier in the interview, that you're finally getting to meet, you've been introduced to a side of a family that you didn't even know. Man, does that give you another whole story to talk about? I mean, just, It
does. It was funny because I remember a joke I made when I first found my father and then found out how many siblings I had. I was like, man, Papa was a Rolling Stone. I guess he kept laying his hat everywhere, huh?
Yeah. Well, you got to give a shout out to Luther Wardlaw.
Yes.
A local guy. I've known these guys for years, and for him to, the movie that y'all done, Blue Lightning, and to bring talent like you to our community, to film a movie, and to do things to show the community his talents, and branch out and bring folks like you. I mean, it's got to be. How did you guys come together to do this project?
So Luther and I linked up a couple times after filming the movie. I think I hit him up when I came to Nashville last year. During that Garth Brooks concert that got canceled because of that freak storm.
Right.
It was actually in town that weekend, and I forget what I was there for. I was a back to school bash for my entertainment attorney's brother-in-law, who's the lead singer of Creed.
Okay.
And so I was out there for that, and I hit up Luther because I remember he said that he was living out there at the time, and so we connected and hung out, and then I spoke to him again like a couple months later, and then it didn't dawn on me at the time that I worked on the film that he was also a manager, and I didn't have a manager. And so we started talking, and I was like, you know what? I don't have a manager. And he was like, you don't? He said, man, I didn't even ask you about it because I thought you had all these people out. I said, nah, I got 2 agents. But yeah, I don't have a manager. And, we started talking. From there, I started, telling him all the things that I wanted to do and everything. And next thing we put pen to paper and started making it happen.
Wow.
And that's kind of neat. You're a songwriter. He's a songwriter.
Yeah.
You want to open your own production company. He does all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about a great team to work together.
Wow. Yeah, exactly. Especially too because like going into music is a new thing for me, and to have a manager that's already well versed in that community because he's been in it for so long, I'm like, is pretty dope because I feel safe in the sense to where I think, you know, one of my biggest things over the years with music is that you got to know either what you're doing or you got to have people with you that know the ins and outs and the do's and don'ts of it, because I've spent the past almost 20 years learning the movie industry. Right. So I know the ins and outs of that. Right. But music is a whole nother monster. You got to have the right people in your squad.
Yeah, and the good thing is you're in the right place to do it. No matter what kind of genre of music you're doing, Nashville is the place to be. I mean, it's just everything is hopping in Nashville. I mean, there's so many artists that go to Nashville to record, and that artists that you wouldn't think would be in Nashville that go to Nashville to record. So I think you're in a great place, and you got a great guy working in your corners. You know, unlimited to what you guys could do. I'm looking forward to hearing your music.
Thank you.
So, you know, that's going to be quite interesting.
Are you going to be playing it here on Y101?
Let me tell you something. I play the Wardlaw Brothers, and I will play you, brother, in a heartbeat. You know, because we're a local radio station. We can do what we want to do. We don't have a big management saying, no, you got to play this exact song at this exact time. Right. We have the freedom to do what we're doing right now. You know, and a lot of radio stations today don't have that. You know, they come in and you get a 5-minute, 10-minute interview, and it's, you know, they can't sit and have a conversation like we're having a conversation right now. And it makes all the difference in the world. You know, it's like he does our show Community Matters, and he brings people in from the community and have they sit down and have a conversation, and that's what's so unique about what we do here at the radio station. It's
pretty cool because it's almost like the podcast vibe. You know what I mean? It's a radio show, but you know, you kind of get the podcast vibe because you talk longer. And I like it. It's, you know, people have stories to tell, and a lot of times people need to hear.
That's right.
Stories. You know, I always say we go through the things we go through in life, not just for ourselves, but for those around us that we can affect, you know, positively, because your pain is not just your pain. Someone else has been through something similar or is going through something similar, and even though you made it out the other side, they may be struggling.
That's right.
You know, so you can help them with your story, your testimony can help someone out, you know, in a way that, you know, they maybe didn't have it. Like for me, my mom was my saving grace through most of my childhood.
Wow.
When it came to bullying, I remember I came home one day and I sat on the bed and I was sad, and she came and sat down next to me. And I said, Mom, how come nobody likes me? And she goes, well, let me ask you a question. What do you mean when you say nobody likes you? And I said, the kids at school. So, and she said, well, no. She's, all right, so she said, well, let me ask you a question. Do you believe me when I say I love you? I said, yes. And she said, and your friends, you believe they like you, right? And I said, yeah. She said, and your family? And I said, yeah. And so she said, well, what do you mean, how come nobody likes you? And I said, well, the kids at school. And she said, well, how often do you deal with the kids at school? I said, not often. Just not seeing them at school. And she said, okay, that makes up about a fraction of your day. Why does it matter what they think about you? When I just pointed out several people who's constantly in your life that you know that love you.
Right.
And I said, how you think about it like that? She goes, you can't go through life trying to please everybody.
Wow.
All you can do is be who you were meant to be, and the right people will attract themselves to you. So she told me that at a young age. And I just always, from that point on, just always wanted to be who I wanted to be. And I think it's what brought me towards acting, because I remember when I did my first stage play in school, I got on stage, it was a comedy, and I remember the crowd just laughing when I wanted them to laugh, and then they were awing when I wanted them to awe. And for me, that was like, this is awesome, because this is the first time I was able to control the emotions, the emotional responses of the kids around me that always used to pick on me. They were laughing when I wanted them to laugh.
Right.
And so that's what kind of triggered my love for acting.
That's good.
Just seeing that, you know, and so just kept doing it.
Wow.
It's amazing to sit and hear your story, where you come from, and what you've accomplished, and the things that you still have ahead of you. And to be such a humble, I appreciate that, to meet somebody that has done some of the things you've done and still be humble.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess that's really the way you need to be. I mean, you told a perfect story about Sandra Bullock. She would talk to people, even though she's who she is, and most people look at her like, oh my gosh, she would, but her to still be down to earth. And, I think that's important, whether you're an actor or a musician. I've met artists that will say hello, boom, that's it. They cut you off, they run, they don't want nothing to do. Then I've met artists like Dolly Parton, who, most artists, if they see 50 people, they are shot. That's it. I don't want to see nobody else.
Right.
Let me go to my bus. This lady met 8 different groups of people, and there was at least 30 people in every one of those groups before she went on stage.
That's excellent.
I mean, come on. It's like Randy Owens of Alabama. When he does his meet and greets, he met everybody. The other guys at the band, they back away and go, but Randy Owens stands right there till everybody's seen.
That's excellent.
I mean, it's just awesome to see folks like yourself and them that take the time to say, hey, I've gotten here because of opportunities that I've been given. And it means a lot, because there may be somebody that's walking the path that you were walking, that is looking to do the same thing, and if you take 5 minutes with them, it could change the whole outcome of their life, just because you took the time to talk to them.
Absolutely. I believe that wholeheartedly. As a motivational speaker, I've had instances where I've been at schools and I talked to kids where some of them would say, it was your movie that inspired me to play football, and now I'm going to college. And I didn't know what I wanted to do in my life, and I'm like, oh my God, I forget his name, but I remember this was probably the year the movie came out. Before I moved to LA, I was still living in Atlanta, and I spoke at this school in Atlanta, and there was this kid that they called Big Mike, because he was like a big kid in the school, but he was a troublemaker. And the whole time I was speaking at the school, he wasn't paying attention. He was acting up. I seen him bullying somebody, and I kept my eyes on him, but I was talking. So after it was over, they had this room in the lunchroom where it was like a media room, and kids that were good get to go in there and play the game. And so I asked him, could I talk to him? And we went and played Madden. We're sitting there, we're playing Madden, and I could see him out the side of my eye. He's looking at me like, what's your angle, man? What you doing?
Yeah.
And then I just started talking to him. I was like, yo, man, I heard that you was the truth at this game. So I wanted to see if you can handle me or whatever. So we started playing. He said, oh, bet. Okay, cool. And then, I just started talking to him about my life and what I've been through. I didn't talk at him. I was just talking to him, just having a conversation. At the end of the game, I beat him. But at the end of the game,
had to plug that in.
Yeah, exactly. I won. So at the end of the game, he puts the controller down. He goes, thank you. And I said, why you said thank you? And he goes, you ain't have to do what you just did. He said, when you were speaking earlier, I wasn't listening to you on purpose, because I felt like you was paid to be here and you didn't really care about us. And he said, but you doing this just now, you didn't have to do this. And he said, he said, for that, I say thank you. And then he said, I heard everything that you said earlier, and I want to make you a promise. And I said, well, what's that? He goes, if you're really going to come back to the school, like you said, when you come back, my grades are going to be better.
Oh, wow.
And he said, I'm gonna be a much better student, and I'm gonna, work hard to get into college. And I was like, all right, cool. He was in the 9th grade at the time, but he was also kept back. No, was he kept back? No, he was in the 9th grade. He wasn't kept back. He was in the 9th grade, but he was failing almost all of his classes at the time.
Wow.
Right. I came back 2 years later when I started my foundation, the Quinton Aaron Foundation.
Okay.
We did a tour, and I made it a point to go to that school because I wanted to check on him.
Mm-hmm.
I get there to the school, and the school, it was on the tour, so they knew I was coming and everything. So I get to the school, and I walk in, and I shake this guy's hand, and I couldn't remember the principal's office, so I asked him. And, he looked like a principal or a teacher or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so he pointed it that way, and I went to the hall. I went to the office, and I opened the door. And the ladies are like, "Oh, my God, did you see Big Mike? Did you see Big Mike?" And I'm like, "No, that's what I want to see. Where is he at?" And they said, "You just passed him in the hallway." So the guy who hand I shook.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I didn't even recognize him. Now, when I say the first time I saw him, he had on black shorts, some bummy sneakers, T-shirt with a hole in it, nappy hair, gold tooth. This time, he had on slacks, shirt and tie, nice haircut, no gold tooth,
Oh, my.
muscled up.
Wow.
It's not the same dude. I felt like a proud daddy.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, you kind of got me teary-eyed over here.
Man, listen. He said, "I told you I was going to change myself around."
See that?
Dude was a straight A student, had 111 different colleges go after him.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
He was only in the 11th grade.
What a story. That is
That's
phenomenal.
good stuff.
I was
That
like,
is.
man, I felt like.
And that has to make you feel accomplished that you took that period of time just to talk to him, and then what a difference you made in his life.
Yeah.
I mean, what a story he has to tell.
Yeah.
That, hey, I come from here. I was failing. Everybody called me a bully, that I didn't care, and look at me now, because you took a little bit of your time to make a difference in somebody's life. That is
Great story.
I think that's we maybe need to make a movie about that.
Sounds like a plan.
So let's talk about tonight, and then we're going to wrap things up. I know you're a busy man. You got to get out. The big gala tonight. You're going to speak at it, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
So you're doing Luther a favor. I know you had to say, "Come on, you got to come down here and help me out," right?
No, I was happy to. Luther's doing good work.
Yes.
And I'm a huge advocate for organizations like this. I definitely get behind good causes whenever I can, but it's definitely ones that hit home in a sense. I'm an advocate of fighting to stop domestic, violence and everything, and I understand what it's like to have a parent that's incarcerated and stuff like that. So I try and do what I can to support people whose missions is to make, kids or average youth situations better in that regards, because, through a lot of what I haven't talked about with my story hits home in some of those places. So, yeah, it's, I support what he's doing.
Yeah, I think it's a great cause.
Definitely needed.
And what he has done for this community and for his family, and what these guys have done for their family. I mean, the Wardlaw family is, a staple in this community. And when this gentleman here come to work with us, I was like, wow.
Wow.
I mean, it was quite an awesome day when we figured out, hey, he was going to come, and then he does Community Matters, and it could not be a better fit, for this radio station. And but we're proud of them. We're proud of what Luther's doing, and again, we thank you so much for taking time out of your morning to come sit down and talk with us. But this has got to be in probably the top 5 of my interviews. It's been a very, very good interview, and I appreciate you taking the time to spend a little time with us. I know it's going really well, because my phone is lighting up, and I'm getting all these texts from people saying this is an awesome interview.
Wow.
I've probably gotten 6 texts since we've been doing this.
Oh, do we get to do any callers to come in? That would be cool. You know?
Yeah, we could, but some people might ask you crazy questions.
Yeah.
Hey, I've heard some crazy questions.
Oh, I can imagine. We've had some crazy callers.
Yeah.
But anyway, Quinton, again, we thank you for
absolutely
being part of the morning show, part of coming and sharing your story with us.
No problem. This was fun. I definitely, when I start actually releasing my music or when I got another project come out, I want to definitely come back.
Yes.
Well,
consider this your home. Anytime you're in town, you want to be on the radio, you want to come and talk about what you've got going on, it's open door here. You are always welcome here.
Let's do it.
And you have finally made it big time now that you have been on the Dave Allen Morning Show.
Let's do it. Mama, I made it.
Yeah, you made it. You finally made it.
I made it, Mama.
Tony is being so nice. Why he wants to be so nice to me, I don't know. But,
I was finally famous.
You finally did it.
I finally made it. Well, guys, we'll see you tonight on the red carpet. I got me a nice tux. I'm going to be all dressed up and Dabier. Is that the right way you say that?
Debonair,
not Dabier. Whatever Dabier is, I have no idea. I just made it up.
We'll roll with it.
Tonight's gonna be my first time wearing a bow tie ever.
Wow.
So
look at there, man.
We see how I throw it on,
Yeah, the first time I wore one was when I got married. The second time, when I was on the red carpet at CMA one year.
Okay.
Back in 2005, I think it was.
Okay.
I wore a tux then and then tonight. So the Wardlaw brothers are making me dress up.
Yeah.
Well, at first, Tony was like, you can just wear a suit. And then I found out everybody's wearing tux. Yeah, whatever. I'm not going to go looking like
right. No,
everybody else dressed up. And I'm like, he didn't get the memo.
Right.
So, anyway, hey, have a great day, and we'll see you tonight.
Thank you,
Tony, for coming in
Dave.
and bringing him, you're his chauffeur this morning.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, take him somewhere really good to eat.
Okay.
Oh, man. Before we go, though, can we get everybody to follow me on Instagram?
Yes, I'm so sorry. I cannot believe that. So
follow me on Instagram at official Quinton Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of fake pages out there. Those not me. I'm official Quinton Aaron on Instagram. I'm at Quinton Aaron on Twitter. And I'm on Facebook too. I am Quinton Aaron on Facebook.
Okay. There you go.
There we go. And TikTok.
And that's how you can keep up with him. And and again, thank you for coming in with us and hanging out with us.
Definitely. Thank you.
Okay.